Arsenal fans will feel the absence of Oleksandr Zinchenko more than many realize. His loan move to Nottingham Forest on deadline day has taken away one of the most unique pieces in Mikel Arteta's system, a player whose influence went far beyond simply being a left-back. Zinchenko himself admitted that last season was the hardest of his career, speaking openly about how difficult it was to be left out of the starting 11 and describing it as a feeling of rejection. That emotional struggle now adds weight to the idea that his departure, even temporarily, was inevitable, but it still leaves Arsenal weaker in certain areas. Zinchenko's game was built on more than defensive cover. He provided Arsenal with a left-back who doubled as a midfielder, stepping inside to create passing lanes, control tempo and recycle possession. Few defenders in the Premier League are able to progress the ball the way Zinchenko does, and when Arsenal were at their best under Arteta last season, he was at the heart of those patterns. His ability to drift into midfield forced opposition teams to stretch and reshuffle, opening gaps that attackers like Bukayo Saka and Martin Ødegaard thrived on. Without him, Arsenal will play in a more predictable shape, relying on conventional overlaps rather than clever positional shifts. Of course, Zinchenko was never flawless. His 1v1 defending was often targeted, and he could be exposed when opponents switched play quickly. But his presence always gave Arsenal an added dimension that outweighed those weaknesses. Without him, the squad loses balance. Kieran Tierney's departure and Takahiro Tomiyasu's frequent injury struggles already stretched Arteta's options, and now the absence of Zinchenko leaves Arsenal short of a specialist who can blend midfield creativity with defensive duty. The timing is particularly painful, as Arsenal are already dealing with fitness problems across the squad. Saka, Ødegaard, Kai Havertz and Ben White have all faced setbacks recently, and Zinchenko's exit adds to the sense that Arteta is juggling too many missing pieces at once. The Premier League season is unforgiving, and the Champions League only adds to the demand for squad depth. Zinchenko would not only have been useful on the pitch but also as an experienced option for rotation, especially in high-pressure European matches where composure on the ball is vital. For Arsenal supporters, there will be frustration that Zinchenko was not kept as a squad option. Some will argue that his influence was waning, that his defensive flaws were too costly and that Arteta wanted more reliability at the back. But others will point to the fact that Arsenal's fluid, possession-heavy style was built on players like Zinchenko, who can switch between roles effortlessly. It is no coincidence that when he was missing, Arsenal often looked more rigid and struggled to dominate games in the same way.